Why did the government put in the RICO Act? Why did they just indict him on what he did to each and every person with drugs, kidnapping, child molestation, all of this stuff? He loses hands down. They're charging him with the RICO for this reason. The government is just as disgusting as he is. They are turning around. The RICO is meant to take his money and properties and everything. That's what the fuck they're looking at. That's why they put in RICO. RICO does not belong in this case.
An inmate from Fort Dix prison just dropped a bombshell he probably should have kept quiet. Leaked footage of Diddy inside the prison is spreading all over social media, and people are losing it. The timing couldn't be worse. Right after 50 Cent's new Netflix documentary aired, new evidence and witness statements have come out, linking Diddy to some shocking crimes. In this video, we're breaking down everything that's been going down with Diddy behind bars, and we're digging into a brand new criminal investigation that just kicked off last week. This is just one piece of a much bigger puzzle, and the full story? It's darker than anyone imagined. Even though Diddy's trying to look calm, flashing smiles and acting unbothered, insiders say he's terrified. Over the past year, he's reportedly been attacked at least 3 different times, each one coming dangerously close to taking him out for good. It doesn't matter if he's locked up in the Metropolitan Detention Center in New York or over at Fort Dix in New Jersey. He's got a target on his back, and it's not going away. Someone clearly wants to keep him quiet, to make sure he doesn't start naming names or spilling secrets that could destroy powerful people. But to really understand what's happening right now, we first need to look at what Diddy was actually charged with, and why that's only the beginning of this wild story.
But I don't have that thing where, we ain't had no thing. I wasn't sending nothing at him, big. If it was on the street side like that, we would be actively doing things to each other.
I still don't understand.
And we wasn't doing that.
I was still trying to figure out, you do a lot.
Yeah, he does a lot.
You do a lot.
And the uncomfortable part was when he was talking to the Breakfast Club.
Uh-oh.
And he was mentioning how Diddy wanted to take him shopping.
He said something fabulous, and he goes, but me and you, we ain't party. Like, we need to party. What is he talking about? That's the kind of stuff that when people say that to me, I get a little uncomfortable. I get uncomfortable. Like he said something to me one time, a long time ago, at Chris Lighty's wedding. He told me he'd take me shopping. I looked at him like, what'd you just say? Let me move, man, before I do something. You're gonna make me mess up the wedding.
Oh, that's a nice gesture.
Let me get out of no, dude, take me. That's what a guy says to a girl.
Hey, dude, that sounded like something Mariana would say.
Yeah.
Back in September, when Diddy first got taken into custody, federal prosecutors hit him with some serious RICO charges. But here's where it gets real suspicious. This was a full-blown RICO investigation, yet not a single other name was listed. Come on, it's clear Diddy wasn't running this operation solo. Now, those same people who once rode with him are trying to keep him quiet, using fear to make sure he doesn't start talking. Diddy never imagined he'd actually land behind bars. He always thought that no matter how bad things got, he could make a few calls, pull some strings, and walk out untouched. He wasn't just some random music mogul. This guy had serious connections with some of the most powerful people across the globe. We're talking former U.S. presidents, top political insiders, and even ties reaching into the British royal circle. These weren't just party night acquaintances. These were tight, long-standing relationships that ran deep. But this whole scandal didn't just blow up after he got shipped to Fort Dix. No way. Reports say that even back when he was locked up at MDC during his trial, Diddy couldn't stop dropping certain names. Inmates claim he'd constantly bring up powerful figures, trying to make it clear who he was still connected to.
They developed a RICO for the mafia, Italian people, to go after the Italian people. And it's a corrupt organization. I know what the RICO law stands for. He don't have a corrupt organization. It's him. RICO has a statute like for the mafia. There's a boss, an underboss, a consigliere, captains, maid guys. This whole organization goes out and commits crimes, murder and all kinds of crimes.
But why keep mentioning a former U.S. president? What made him think that someone sitting in one of the highest offices would risk everything just to save him? Something about that story sounds off, doesn't it? Word on the street is that a secret pardon request was quietly sent out and rejected.
Well, Diddy is just a working class stiff while he's at Fort Dix.
So when you're at a prison and somebody says, you read any good books lately, Diddy is the answer.
He's the guy to go to because we got video of him at Fort Dix reporting for work in the library, where he is making recommendations and handing out different movies and books for his fellow inmates.
I'm really fascinated just by the library
But
itself.
you're seeing him here. This is him reporting to work, taking off his jacket, taking off his scarf, and settling in for a day on the job.
It looks like a public school library.
Yeah.
It happened just weeks after Diddy's legal team filed an appeal on his conviction. And the reason it got turned down? Allegedly because of one name that keeps haunting him, 50 Cent. That man just won't disappear from this saga. Every single time Diddy thought he could smooth things over, 50 came crashing in and flipped the whole situation upside down.
This was the chapel, and this is the media library in the chapel, which is where Diddy's currently working. He's working in a Life Connections program, which is an 18-month program that helps rehab people, get them closer to spirituality, to charity groups, and with that, it will shorten his sentence. But in this media library, he helps inmates with religious material, rent out movies, that kind of stuff. You see him pushing a
really
cart
interesting.
with a TV on it.
Yeah, I mean, he was in the laundry room when he first got there.
Yeah,
This got to be
his first
This got to
assignment.
be a promotion.
Yeah.
It feels like a promotion. It feels like maybe he tried the lunchroom and put in a request for something different.
Yeah, it does
I mean,
believe
he is a
it does
media
sound like
mogul.
he used maybe possibly some connections to get a better job.
And when the rumor first dropped that Diddy was trying to use political influence to score himself a pardon, guess who jumped into action immediately? 50 Cent. He wasn't letting that slide for a second. He moved fast, like a man on a mission, ready to make sure Diddy's plan went nowhere. And when that viral footage of Diddy inside prison hit the internet, 50 didn't stay quiet then either. He jumped on Instagram, posted his reaction, and lit up the comments section. But here's the thing. Doesn't it seem just a bit strange how much effort 50 Cent is putting into taking Diddy down?
Diddy is apparently refusing meals. I don't know if it's all of them, but he's refusing some of them, and he's been reportedly looking a lot thinner. Why would that be?
Maybe he doesn't like the cuisine, or maybe now that he's actually in a dormitory unit, he's not living in his cell. Well, he's living in the cell, but he's not in there all day long. Now he can buy items at the commissary, and because of that, he may be making his own food. He probably has access to a microwave oven, or maybe like boiling hot water, and they make burritos and different things. He doesn't want to eat the prison food, I suppose, because he's scared somebody's going to put something in it. I've said this before. That's the way to get to this guy. Poison his food, turn him off like a light switch, and he can't testify against anyone.
This isn't just petty social media drama. He actually hit pause on some of his biggest money-making projects just to personally call up victims and get them involved in his documentary. That's serious dedication. This isn't what a random troll would do. 50 is on a full-blown mission to make sure Diddy's trial stays in the spotlight, so there's no room for backdoor deals or shady moves. Thanks to 50's pressure and the evidence he dropped in his documentary, a lot of those victims are finally getting their voices heard and a little bit of justice.
Sammy, if you would give me your comparison. I mean, listen, guys in the mob did some terrible, terrible things. The murders were gruesome and violent and painful, and they served a purpose. They were meant to terrify people into staying in line, right? Compare the guys in the mob to the stuff you're hearing alleged against Diddy.
If we did that in the mob, we would be killed for it. We would never touch women and children and stuff like that. So that's against our rules, our principles. We would never get away with something like that. There was a guy, Roy DeMeo and Gas Pipe, who became serial killers, killing for no reason, and they were killed. So, I mean, if he was in the mafia, and we knew what he was doing, he would have been killed. There would be no trial.
And what did Diddy do in response? Instead of staying silent, he allegedly tried to send a message. Just one day after 50's documentary about the crimes of Sean Combs aired, 50 reportedly received a bouquet of flowers from Diddy himself. Now that's a strange way to say back off. 50 Cent posted about the whole thing on his Instagram, saying he knew exactly what Diddy was really trying to say with those flowers. But let's get back to what's happening inside the prison, because things have taken a terrifying turn.
But I am curious if you, having gone through it all, having been pulled under the RICO statute and been locked away yourself, do you see that racketeering applies in what you're hearing out of Diddy's case so far?
Yeah, parts of it. The racketeering law is a very complicated law. I was arrested a couple of times under RICO, and a couple of times I testified in cases that the RICO law was used. And it's easy to understand when you're using it against the mafia or cartel or, an organization like that, a criminal organization. This is a different form of the RICO, where the organization is where Diddy had his company, he used that as a criminal organization, but it's going to be a little hard to understand for a lot of people.
According to newly released court documents, Diddy was actually saved by a corrections officer after a brutal attack and some serious threats on his life. Allegedly, Diddy woke up in the middle of the night with a knife pressed right up to his throat. He would have been badly hurt, or worse, if a nearby corrections officer hadn't jumped in just in time to pull him out of danger. After that, Diddy started paying off certain inmates just to keep himself protected inside those walls. That's how dangerous things have gotten for him. Now here's where it gets even more chilling. Gene Deal, Diddy's former bodyguard and a one-time corrections officer himself, spoke out about what life behind bars is really like for someone like Diddy. And what Gene said caught everyone off guard. He didn't hold back, predicting exactly how Diddy might act if he's forced to stay locked up long-term.
I mean, what this guy did is disgusting. I don't think there's a person alive, a man or a woman, especially women, who are not going to hate this guy. Whatever he did was completely disgusting. It's beyond criminal. I don't even know what it is. I look at it like he disgraced everybody. He disgraced the black race by being a black man. I know a lot of black people and they hate him for it because it painted a picture towards all of them. I think it's being followed all over the world. If he's not found guilty or he's cut free or he does a short amount of time, I mean, I could only imagine what the whole world would think. This is a disgusting country.
According to Gene, Diddy's biggest threat might not even come from other inmates or prison gangs. It's the pressure and isolation that could break him down. Gene said straight up that Diddy doesn't have what it takes to survive real prison life, and if things get too rough, he might just reach his breaking point and harm himself. Diddy's always played tough in his music videos, but in real life, he's never had to get his hands dirty.
And it's an organization, and it's very easy for people to understand it. Now, it's a very complicated law. It went out after the Italians and the mafia to Hispanic people. I was in prison with Hispanic people, black people, who got hit with the RICO law, didn't even know what the fuck they were talking about. But it was an easier law for them to win cases, number one, and for them to confiscate the money. So to them, part of that thinking with the RICO is about money. Not just to find you guilty. They want to go after you, find you guilty, and then they want to pound their chest. They want his hundreds of millions or billions of dollars, whatever he has. They want that money. And if they lose this case, they lost it because of their own greed. RICO does not belong in this case as far as I'm concerned. Now, I'm not a lawyer.
Inside prison, though, that image doesn't mean anything. He's surrounded by real criminals, and they don't have any respect for men accused of putting their hands on women. That's the kind of thing that makes you an instant target behind bars. Even former mafia figures like Michael Franzese and Sammy the Bull Gravano spoke up about it. They said straight out that if the old-school mafia had known about the kind of allegations Diddy's facing right now, he wouldn't have lasted long on the streets. According to them, the mafia doesn't tolerate men who hurt women, and that might explain exactly why Diddy keeps getting targeted inside. The truth is, the longer Diddy stays locked up, the more dangerous it gets for him. His team knows it too, which is why his lawyers filed an appeal on December 19th, trying to cut down his 50-month sentence, or erase it completely. They're arguing that since the jury cleared him on some of the more serious charges, the time he got was way too harsh. They're pushing hard to convince the court that Diddy deserves a break. But with the kind of reputation he's got now, that might not be so easy. If Diddy somehow makes it through the next 12 months without getting caught up in any of the new cases piling up against him, there's a real chance he could actually walk free.
So some of them might be unindicted co-conspirators that would make up the enterprise along with Diddy. It's just that they agreed to cooperate and they're not indicted. I mean, that's my take on it so far.
Bana was the third person by my count to be given immunity for her testimony. And each of those three that got up there, they all said they did not want to be there. They did not want to be a part of this. They weren't looking to put Diddy away. They just didn't want anything to do with him. Do you think that jurors see that? Do you think they see immunity as something that's really important?
No, I agree with Michael 100%. They all got immunity because they're cooperating. They're all part of the enterprise, and that's exactly what happens. When I cooperated, I was part of the enterprise, and I was cooperating, and nothing that I said could be used against me, and that's exactly what's happening here, same exact thing.
But here's where things get even crazier. His problems don't stop at prison walls. While he's trying to survive on the inside, his empire on the outside is falling apart fast. An investigator from the New York Times just uncovered something wild. Diddy's reportedly selling off his private jet. Yeah, the same jet he used to flex in all those music videos and brag about living the high life. Now he's supposedly desperate for cash and willing to let it go just to keep himself afloat. Word is, Diddy's money situation has hit rock bottom. That $30 million jet? He can't afford to maintain it anymore. He needs every dollar he can get to cover his massive legal fees and fight off all the new cases heading his way. And just when it seemed things couldn't get worse, the L.A. County Sheriff's Department dropped a bombshell. Another brand new criminal investigation has officially been launched against Diddy. TMZ broke the story first, revealing that this new case also involves Jonathan Hay, Rihanna's former publicist, and even Biggie Smalls' son, C.J. Wallace, allegedly tied into the investigation. This whole situation is spiraling faster than anyone expected. Jonathan Hay was reportedly assaulted by Diddy after being invited to a recording session. What was supposed to be just music business turned into something dark and unexpected. But that's not even close to the end of Diddy's problems. 50 Cent's explosive documentary just pulled the curtain back on a whole new layer of chaos, revealing fresh evidence and shocking witness testimony connected to the tragic deaths of Tupac Shakur and Biggie Smalls. For the first time ever, proof and statements linking Diddy to both cases have been brought to light, and the revelations are shaking the industry to its core. Tupac's family isn't letting this slide either. They've launched their own independent investigation and hired powerhouse attorney Alex Spiro to dig deep into the truth. Tupac's brother, Reem Shakur, also came forward saying he's long been suspicious of Diddy and believes there's way more to this story than anyone's been told. Now, the investigations are expanding, the pressure's getting heavier by the day, and the powerful allies Diddy once relied on, they've gone completely silent. The walls are closing in fast, and if you think this saga is anywhere near over, you're dead wrong. Make sure to like, subscribe, share, and drop a comment below about what you think will happen next, because the next update could change everything.